Tri-Series for the Lancer Evo. You know, the prize car that I've been hyping up for like the last 2 weeks. Yeah, it didn't go so well now, did it? Look, guys, alright, first of all, yo guys, what's going on? Bloods is back. Welcome back to the channel. I just gotta say that. I feel like if I don't say that in my intro, it feels like I'm not wearing my watch. To be fair, I am not wearing my watch. I should put my watch on. But yeah, let's talk about the Tri-Series for a second. There's been a lot of commotion going on with the most recent prize car, which is the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 8 RS. And the main thing about it is that, you know, there's a lot of words going around: swindled, scam, fraud, blah, 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 etc., etc. I can completely understand why this is going on. So let us see the issue real quick. So obviously, as you do immediately when you win a Tri-Series prize car, one of the first things you go and do is go check out the times, right? Now, some people go check out the times immediately. Some people, whales especially, might just go max out the car immediately without even, you know, going for the times. Now, according to Top Drives Club, there's not a single maxed out time for the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 8. There's not a single time for maxed out ones. So it's either no one has maxed it out or someone has maxed it out, but they're so ashamed that they maxed it out that they don't want to put the times because they want people to think that they were the dumbass that maxed it out. The thing is, I don't blame you really if you max it out immediately. I might have done the same thing. I was very close to actually upgrading the handling the moment I won the car. And the only thing stopping me from doing so was because I am just so incredibly frugal when it comes to upgrading legendaries. But here's the main issue. In the first image, you can see that the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 8 RS loses everywhere to the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 6 RS, besides the car park. In some cases, it's not even close. On city streets small, the difference is over 0010, whatever that is. And in city streets medium, the difference is over 0020. You know my math is bad. This is to nobody's surprise. But the thing is, it doesn't do very well. The fact that it's 1 RQ higher, the fact that it has 1 handling more, and it still loses to the 6, something doesn't make sense. Though, immediately the moment people realized that it was losing to the non-prize variation, everyone was already throwing shade at the Evolution 8. The thing is, the Evolution 8 isn't even a terrible prize car. I mean, it's a terrible prize car, but it's not a terrible car. You take away the Evolution 6, and it is the best car there. So if anything, it's just the second best car. It still beats out all of those 79 Epics. It still beats out all of those RQ80 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 4s and RSs, etc., etc. But it truly is like, you know, the thing that you just cannot forget is that it does lose to the Evolution 6 everywhere but the car park, which is ridiculous that those words are even coming out of my mouth. So I can see why a lot of people are mad, myself included. I'm really disappointed that this prize car was not what I said it was going to be. So yeah, in actual fact, the non-prize variation, the Evolution 6, is actually better than the Evolution 8, which is ridiculous. So why the hype? Well, first of all, as you can see, a lot of people were not happy, right? Like, prize cars should be better than packable versions. I agree with that to some degree, not wholeheartedly. You know, it's truly disappointing and not deserving of prize car status. I completely agree. If anything, they should have, if they knew that the performance of the 6 was better than the 8, then they should have just made the 6 the prize car and the 8 the car that people could have unpacked. It would have just made more sense that way. When a non-prize Evo is better than the prize, yeah, it's pretty obvious to see that people aren't very happy, and I myself included. These stats are just not correct. So why the hype? Why did I think that this was going to be so bad? Like I said, I feel really apologetic throughout the entirety of this video because I've literally spent the last week and a half of my channel literally hyping up this car to the point where I'm seeing people say, oh my god, like it's literally just because he works for Hutch, so like he's hyping up the prize car. So it's, you know, it's basically like people don't trust me because of this. And it does annoy me a bit because I don't want my credibility on the line. I genuinely thought that the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution, you know, 8 was a genuine contender to be one of the greatest prize cars in the game. It had the makings for it. It's medium, standard, four-wheel drive. It handled the best. Usually, handling is the biggest key. And on top of that, why else was I hyped for this? Well, number one, as you can see, usually when you get a prize car, one or two factors that makes a prize car a prize car. There's either heritage, there's performance, or there's both, right? So on the performance side, you have things like the Audi S1, the Lamborghini Urus, the Audi R8 rear-wheel drive. Like, all of those cars don't really have much heritage. The Lamborghini Urus is the Lamborghini Urus. Like, literally everyone that has made like at least 2 successful rap albums probably owns a Lamborghini Urus, you know, in matte black or brown or whatever, right? Or gold or whatever. The Audi R8 rear-wheel drive, it's an Audi R8. I know that the Audi R8 rear-wheel drive GT, I think, is actually pretty rare because they only made like 300 units or whatever. But the Audi R8 rear-wheel drive is just an Audi R8 rear-wheel drive, as far as I know. The Audi S1 EKS, it's just performance. I did my prize car autobiography for the Audi S1 EKS. It won nothing. It won nothing. So what's the heritage? It won absolutely nothing. The Group B, I understand why that's a prize car, but the EKS, it lost to the Volkswagen, the Volkswagen Polo or Golf or whatever it is in the WRC. It even lost to the Peugeot 208 in some cases as well. It was just second. It got second a bunch of times. That was it. So yeah, it's performance. They have very low 0 to 60s, or they're the best SUV in the game, or etc. etc. It's the same thing for the Urus, same thing for the Cayenne, etc. etc. Then you have prize cars that are meant for heritage. You got things like the Moby Dick, or you have things like the Skyline, the Celsonic Godzilla R32, the McLaren F1 GTR Short Tail, one of the coolest LMP or Le Mans races of all time. And then you have cars which are in between. You have the Peugeot 908 and the Audi R10. Both diesel LMP cars that have won 24 hours of Le Mans, so they've got that heritage for Peugeot, for Audi, but on top of that, they bring incredible performance. I think we can all agree that the Peugeot 908 and the Audi R10 are better performance cars. They have better stats, they have better handling, better MRA, compared to cars like the Moby Dick and the Skyline, the Celsonic, as well as the Short Tail, right? So why I thought that the Mitsubishi was going to be really good was because the Mitsubishi didn't have heritage. Not that one per se. Like, there are a bunch of Mitsubishis out there that are chock full of heritage for sure. But the Evolution 8 RS, I did a lot of research on this car, and to my knowledge, it just seems like a blank canvas. Like, that car was made to be a blank canvas for third-party tuners to tune the car to turn it into something cool, right? That's why Mitsubishi sold it so bare bones. That's why it didn't come with AC or powered windows. That's why it didn't come with, powered seats or even anything. It came with Steelies, for crying out loud. You know what I mean? So it was so far away from heritage that I thought, oh, definitely it's a prize car because it's performance, right? Like, even think of the Ultra Giacolotto. It has crap stats, but the only reason why it's a prize car is because of performance, because it has like 140 MOA for some godforsaken reason. So I thought that the Lancer Evolution was going to bring that value because it was so far off being a heritage prize car. It just had to be a performance prize car. There had to be a reason why Hutch decided to give that prize car tag, right? But anyway, moving on to why I bought into the hype. Look at every single previous Tri-Series. Okay, not every single one, but the 3 previous Tri-Series. Look at the RQ of those cars. 97, 101, 97 again, right? Like, Hutch only releases big name Tri-Series prize cars, right? For the best of the best. They're not gonna, like, think about it, right? Like the legacy challenges or whatever, like the legacy, legendary challenges, like for, I don't know, Around the World, Call of the Wild, all the kind of stuff. The prize cars that they usually release for those are way lower in average for RQ. The Durango is 91. The Ford Supercar V8, whatever that thing was, the Falcon, I can't remember what it was, that was like 86. Cars in the 80s or the low 90s are usually what are given out in non-Tri-Series legendary events. And the legendary Tri-Series events are usually, reserved for the highest rated cars or the best cars. So obviously the Evolution 8 was not the highest rated. It was not in the high 90s. It was not over 100. But it really gave off the vibe that it was the best standard tire car in the game. I mean, it was, at least in terms of RQ and in terms of handling, was the highest handling one there, right? So yeah, the fact that Hodge decided to dedicate an entire Tri-Series to this prize car made me think, wow, if they think that they can do that, if they're going out of their way to release and create a Tri-Series just for a legendary 82, this has to be one hell of an 82. I can't be the only one that thinks this, right? That's why I was so hyped about the car. But of course, there were red flags. And I guess it is kind of my fault that I didn't even talk about the red flags. I decided to ignore the red flags even. The first one was the fact that Hodge just didn't decide to give any benchmark times. I mean, that's about as red flag as it gets, right? Like, usually they would release benchmark times for how good a prize car is because they want to hype you up. They want you to win it. And the fact that they didn't release any benchmark times for this prize car maybe kind of just gives off the vibe that, oh, they kind of knew that this car was kind of shit, you know? So that was one thing that I didn't consider. That could be one thing that we could think about in the future. If Hodge doesn't release any benchmark times, then there is no point to go for that. Obviously, use your brain. If they don't release any benchmark times of the Porsche 919, I'm still going to go for the Porsche 919. I mean, how bad could it be, right? But yeah, the thing is, man, like there was no benchmark times for this. On top of that, if you go into their patch notes for their most recent minor update, the Lancer Evolution 8 RS was actually coded as a RQ81 car, not 82. So I think this is also really bad news for people that won the Evolution 8, because it also means that instead of it getting a buff, it's actually going to get a nerf, and it's going to go down to 81. So that's not very nice either, but that was one thing that we could have considered that we didn't think about. The Janela G58 is 99. I don't know if it's 99 in the game right now. That's something that you can think about as well. But yeah, because of this Tri-Series, these are things that I really need to pay attention for more now. Did they release benchmarks? What are the RQ for the cars in their patch notes, if there are any? You know what I mean? It's a lot of things to think about. And yeah, I never thought about, the fact that, there was a 1 RQ difference between the patch notes version and the version in game. But anyway, man, like, my conclusion for the Lancer Evolution is this, right? Not a terrible prize car. It really isn't a terrible prize car. It's the second best still. I think the main reason for it is that, obviously there was a lot of hype. So a lot of people thought it was going to be the best, and it turned out being the second best. It wasn't the best car there, but it still beats all the epics, and it beats the legendaries. It still beats the BMW, I'm pretty sure. But that being said, yes, it didn't turn out to be the best of the best. It's not hot garbage. It's far from hot garbage, especially if you won this car and you didn't own the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 6, which is a lot of us, to be fair. This is actually a fantastic prize car to have in your garage. I mean, 4-wheel drive, 87 handling, it's not 87, mine's at 1 star. So 4-wheel drive, 84 handling, medium ground clearance center tires is still a very, very strong recipe. Just not that high level that I thought, and many of us thought that it was going to be. So I think it just belongs in this kind of like curated bucket of meh, with the KTM Expo and the Bugatti Veyron and the Pagani Huayra BC and the Pagani Imola and the Koenigsegg CCGT, for example. Like, these prize cars aren't bad. They're all right. You will get value out of them. But I just thought that the Evolution deserved a seat with the Lotus Avia, with the Peugeot T16 208, and all those heavy hitters, Rimac Nevera, and unfortunately, that just wasn't the case. But anyway, ultimately, I don't think it's a bad prize car. I think it still is good. It will get you value. It is still a 5-seater. It is still a saloon. I believe it's a 5-seater. It might be a 4, but I believe it's a 5-seater. It might be less than that, but I believe it's a 5-seater. Medium ground clearance, 4-wheel drive standard, handles well. It's still good. It's just not what everyone thought it was going to be, I myself included. So if you feel like, oh, you went super hard for this prize card due to all the hype that I've created, I do apologize for that. But honestly, at the same time, you got to make your own decisions. But I also went all out for this prize car. I mean, I didn't open any packs because I had the cars already. But I did upgrade legendaries. I did max epics. I wasn't just saying things to hype people up. I genuinely was hyped for this, and I wanted this prize card too. But unfortunately, it just didn't turn out to be what it was. But anyway, guys, before we end up the video, I'm just gonna slap the recording of me winning this prize car. I got first place in my bracket. Some of you may have seen my bracket from yesterday's video. But anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for today. I'm gonna stay safe, wash your hands, enjoy the after credits clip, and I'll see you all next time. Peace. Good morning. I'm really tired, guys, so we're just gonna ASMR these packs. How about that? I hope the background music is good. But yeah, my little sleeping mask is still on my forehead, but I needed to see this final out. It was a must. I mean, that's actually not bad. 49 out of what is it, aluminum pack? I mean, I hope we get a 79 out of the carbon fiber, right? You know what I mean? Okay, let's see what's next. 56 GTO, okay. 330D, nothing special, nothing at all. Alright, cool, we'll take that. Thank you so much. No epics, nothing like that. Just a double, regular 2 times. There's a ceramic pack though, I think, here. Yeah. M35. All right, cool.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly, got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly, got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back, relax in my body.